Right, so today we'll tackle a little bit of a different subject and not that much mechanical regarding the amarok, but it's more relating to my camping setup. I've had requests to cover the canopy that I have on the amarok. I'm not going to do that specifically, but I'm going to cover my camping power setup that I'm running, or that I used to run, and then what I'm going to change about it now. So let's go and have a look at itself. So obviously we can open up the side door to give you a view from the side. So I've added two lights in the top, just normal LED lights. They actually come from the wiring on this side. I still need to tidy up this a bit. So that all needs to get sorted out. They have switches on the lights themselves, and that will also change after a while. Then on this side I have some, I can't actually remember if this is 16 or 25 square millimeter wires that's running directly from my battery. Now I used to use this with a normal battery box setup with a high cycle battery in, but I'm changing all of this now. So let me just quickly, this little bracket that's sitting right there is a little bit in my way now. So the amarok also has 2 points there for that tie down point to screw down. So I'll actually either take this bracket and modify it, or I will make a new bracket to bolt in down there, run up on the side, and then clip in there to bolt the canopy down, so I can get that out of my way. It really sits in an awkward place. Right, so the idea is now I'm going lithium with my battery. I have a 12 volt 100 amp hour lithium battery lined up now that I'll be installing. So this is where it's going to go in. Normally my fridge stands there where the KWV box is lying. The South Africans will know that box all too well. So normally my fridge is standing on that left hand side. I am planning a whole load system and a load platform later on, but for now and my deadline end of March when we're going camping again, I need to get this sorted out. So my fridge is normally standing on the left hand side, and my battery setup then needs to be at the left here at the back. Now I'm going to move away from a complete battery box setup to a separate battery box and a control panel. So let's go and have a look at the current battery box and the new battery that I've lined up. Right, so it is a little bit dark out already, but this was my basic setup. It was just a normal ammo crate that I modified. So this is my solar input. This was my output for the fridge, and this was a direct link from this plug to my battery inside. The grey plug for the fridge came via the load output on the Victron Blue Solar 115 charge controller, and then this one obviously was the solar input on the charge controller. Over here I've got some hella plugs for my lights, and then I've also got some USBs and a normal 12 volt socket. Now these switches were wired up at one stage, but yeah, this box quite fell apart a little bit. So just going inside, yeah, there's a bunch of nonsense chucked in there, but there's the Blue Solar MPPT controller. And then what I've recently added is the VE Direct Bluetooth dongle that I've now added, and I don't know why the stupid thing doesn't want to focus. There we go. So this lets me actually log in on this controller, and I can now set all my charging parameters and everything. So I will remove this and the dongle from the box. Then I'll create a separate battery box, and then I'll link this all up together. I'm not 100% sure yet how, but yeah. So this was my setup, and let's have a look at what I got now for my new battery. Right, so this is my box that arrived from Lithium Batteries South Africa. So there's a little wiring explanation of how you link up the battery monitoring or battery management system to the batteries and my charger. So it's all nicely packaged, and I can really recommend the guys at Lithium Batteries South Africa. They are really helpful, and well, I hope that the battery and the products will be as great as their service. So this is the battery management system. I'm only running a 12 volt system on this. I did go for the 120 amp unit because I would like in the future to run my ARB compressor that I don't have yet, but I would like to run that from here, and that's drawing about probably around about 35-40 amps. So this is maybe a bit of an overkill, but nevertheless rather have more options than fewer. So it's quite a piece, but we'll make some space for it somewhere. Then in here we've got the cells. So this is just a little screen that I got, a little battery monitor screen that will show me the state of charge and the volts. Then this is my little wires that plug in on the BMS that will go to every point between the cells to monitor the cells. And this here is my actual cells. It's a 3.2 volt cell, I believe, 3 volt somewhere there. So I'll link all these up. It's a 100 amp hour cell, and so all of them together will then give me a 100 amp hour 12 volt battery. Now you might think, well, it's a similar size as a normal lead acid battery. The difference is on a high cycle lead acid battery you can use about 30% of the available capacity. On a lithium battery you can use up to 90% without actually damaging the battery. I think deep cycles you can go up to about 50%. So this is really in another class if you look at this against lead acid. So, and I mean, it's really light for the size. It is really light. So let's go and have a look how this will fit in the back. So the basic plan for this, and to keep it a bit out of the way, will be to not position them 4 cells like that, but will be to put there 2 there and 2 on this side, so that it can actually fit in on the side that it's out of my way. So the next video I'll run over the battery box that I'm building. I'm going to remove this bracket here so that it's not in the way there at the back of the box, and then I'll give the bottom a little bit of a shape to stand flush there, and hopefully fit the box in there on the side. And then I'll probably lift it up a bit so I can put the BMS on top, and we'll see where I'm going to put all my plugs and switches, but that will be for next time. So let's see how it progresses.